Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more muzzleloader testing. And today we've got a little different setup out here to try. It's actually my dad's muzzleloader that he said, hey, if you're going to the range to shoot some muzzleloaders, take this one, make sure it's still zeroed, shoot a couple groups with it and see what you can get. I've shot it before and I know it's got some decent capability to give us some nice looking groups, so we'll see how it does today. But as for that muzzleloader, I brought out this guy. This is an old Knight 45 caliber muzzleloader. We haven't tested any 45 caliber muzzleloaders on the channel yet, so this will be a little bit of a first. I believe this has got a 28-inch barrel on it if I'm remembering correctly, and up on top is a Nikon Inline XR 3-9x40. Pretty nice little deer getting setup here, and like I just said, I know it's got potential to shoot really well, so we'll see how it does with today's load. But as for the bullets we're running, I brought out some of these. They're actually a little bit older of a Powerbelt bullet, a little bit different packaging design, but nothing too different from what we see today, and I think these are still available. They're a 45 caliber, 195 grain hollow point copper-clad bullet. You can see them sitting in there. They do have those hollow point cavities, but still, other than that, very basic Powerbelt type of stuff. For the powder we're going to be running, I'm going to be using 2 pellets of this 777, so that equals out to 100 grains worth of powder. Very typical stuff here, and that's what that muzzleloader has always had put through it, so we should be good here. And the primers are just some of these Winchester 777 209 primers as well. But as for how we're going to do the test, we're going to shoot 2 groups, one at 50 and another at 100 yards, all of which will be through the chronograph so we can get our velocities. As for cleaning this muzzleloader, I did already fire 2 primers through it, just the primers, to put a little bit of soot down the barrel to start with. We're going to shoot our 3 shots at 50 yards without any cleaning between our shots at all. Then after we finish that group, I'm going to run a quick, just isopropyl rubbing alcohol swab through it just to knock some of the big deposits out of the way. And that will evaporate quickly as well, so we won't have any moisture left over to deal with. And then we'll shoot our 100-yard group and see what we get. Everybody's got their different preferred ways of doing things when it comes to muzzleloaders, but this has seemed to be a pretty reliable and consistent way, at least when I'm out here on the range testing stuff. So let's get you guys a view of those targets. We'll shoot our groups and we'll see what this Knight 45 cal muzzleloader is capable of. Alright, so we'll take a quick look at our chronograph before we look at our target. It seems like these were mid to upper 1800s or thereabout. I mean, that would make sense for what I would expect it to be at. We did have a couple misreads, like a 900 velocity and stuff. I just went ahead and deleted those since I know those are not correct. Just the muzzleloader smoke and stuff like that probably got to the chrono. But we had a high at 1906. Our low was 1797, and that gave us an average at 1859 with an extreme spread of 109 and a standard deviation of 44. So not the most consistent velocities, but at mid 1800s, that's still about where I would expect it to be on average. And of course, here's your energy number for a 195 grain bullet at 1859. So you can see what we're pushing. That's still perfectly fine for a 100-yard deer gun all day long. But were they actually accurate or not? Let's go check out our target and see what we got. Alright, so here's our target, and I gotta say, it's not nearly as good as what I expected it to be. And now I did talk to my dad while I was filming this out of curiosity after seeing these groups, and he did say that 195 grain Powerbelts is what he typically uses. However, he took a look, and it seems like he uses the 195 grain copper arrow tip bullets, which look identical, but they have the little yellow tip instead of the hollow point. Probably the same bullet if I had to guess, just with and without the plastic tip. And I know from experience that will put them at 2 inches or better at 100 yards all day long. That's not exactly what we saw here. We'll start on the left with our 50-yard group, and it is these 3 shots right here around the bottom of the diamond. At 50 yards, that really isn't all that great, to be honest with you. Good enough to kill a deer with it, but I expected a lot better, that's for sure. That's a 2.3 inch spread at 50 yards, so nothing super impressive there. And that continued moving over to our 100-yard spread here as well. We had that bullet hole, and we flung one way over here to the left as well. I felt good about every trigger pull today. I loaded it all the same way, the same powder charges, the same cleaning like I mentioned earlier. So just a little bit of inconsistencies here that I'm not really liking, that's for sure. We had a 3.29 inch spread between these two bullet holes right here, and from that bullet hole across to this one is right about 8.5 inches. So is it still minute of deer? Yeah, probably, but I don't know that I would really want to push that combo much past 50 yards personally. So now I think it might be worth trying a few different bullet combos and seeing what we can get, or at least getting some more of the actual arrow tipped version of this 195 grainer as well, because I know it can do way better than that. That's not exactly what I was expecting to see, but that's why you test different combos, bullets, powders, that kind of stuff, because sometimes you get good results and sometimes you get some unexpectedly bad ones as well, and that's kind of what we saw here, unfortunately. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that performance right there? That's not at all the performance I was expecting to see, that's for sure. I know that Night 45 cal muzzleloader is capable of way better than that. I've seen it, I've done it personally on that particular gun. So, I don't know, maybe a little bit of luck of the draw. We do have a little bit of a breeze out here today. I tried to go between the little gusts of wind, if you will, but that could have affected it, I don't know. But either way, still not exactly what I thought we were going to see, that's for sure. But that's why you test a bunch of different combos to see what works and what doesn't, because even at 50 yards, still not super impressed. But leave all your thoughts down below. Is that about what you expected to see? Were you a little surprised one way or the other? Do you have one of these old Night 45 caliber muzzleloaders? And if so, what kind of results have you seen out of it? Or if you've tested those Powerbelt 45 cal bullets, what kind of grouping have you seen from them? Is this a combo you would ever use on a deer hunt or something? Or would you prefer to see a little more accuracy than that? And maybe what other bullets or powders or anything like that might you want to see me try through that gun? I don't know how often I'll have it out here on the range to test it, but let me know what you might want to see and we'll see what I can do. But with that being said, I've got some more testing to get done for you guys, so I'm going to get back to it. As always, we have the channel Instagram as well as the mailbox where you can send stuff if you'd like. All that information will be in the description if you're interested in it, but I'm going to get back to it, so I'll see y'all in the next one.